Have you ever stopped to think about why we give so much importance to what others think? This silent habit of worrying about other people's judgments can affect us more than we imagine. But what if there was a way to escape this? What if true emotional freedom was tied to caring less about these external opinions? Is it possible to live fully without being influenced by other people's opinions? The answer is yes. When you free yourself from this need for acceptance, you discover a sense of peace and authenticity that transforms your life. And this brings another question: what would your daily life be like if you didn't carry the weight of social expectations? Imagine waking up every morning and feeling that your thoughts are genuinely yours, without the pressure of what others might think. By adopting this mindset, you start dressing to please yourself, speaking with confidence, and following your own path. There's no more fear of being judged or rejected. This new freedom feels like a deep relief, something that fills the soul. Gradually, you realize that you were living to please others, not yourself. And now that you allow yourself to be authentic, the energy that was once spent on conformity is redirected toward your own goals and growth. If you're looking to deepen your journey of self-awareness and spirituality, don't forget to check out my ebook Divine Essence, Rediscovering the Innermost Self and Spiritual Peace. The link is here in the description. Enjoy! And if this message resonates with you and is helping you see life in a new way, go ahead and leave your like. It helps this content reach more people who, like you, are seeking authenticity and inner peace. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue following transformative content like this. Why is this freedom so valuable? Because being true to yourself takes away the burden of having to fit into imposed molds. You stop stressing about trying to be someone you're not. Instead, you direct your energy toward what really matters, reducing mental and emotional exhaustion, freeing yourself from the chains of anxiety. After all, who needs the should have done this or what if when you have the true peace of being yourself? As you stop worrying about what others think, your thought patterns begin to change. Your mind frees itself from unnecessary noise, and you start seeing situations more objectively. It's no longer about living in fear of others' judgments, but about interpreting events for what they really are. This new mental clarity allows your own feelings and opinions to become the center of your decisions, rather than being influenced by the expectations of those around you. Making decisions becomes a more straightforward and simpler process, as you now base them on your intuition and your personal sense of right and wrong. The stress that used to accompany the constant attempt to please or avoid criticism gradually disappears. The anxiety that once made your heart race in social situations begins to dissipate, allowing you to live more calmly and balanced. That butterflies in your stomach feeling, when mentally revisiting past conversations, also disappears. You no longer waste time trying to figure out how you could have expressed yourself differently to please someone. This mental relief reflects on your body, which begins to relax naturally. The inner peace you start to feel boosts your overall well-being, creating a positive cycle between mind and body. With this reduction in stress and anxiety, you notice that your energy is renewed. What was once spent on unfounded worries can now be directed toward activities that truly matter, like your hobbies, relationships, and your own personal and spiritual growth. By no longer worrying about convincing others, you find a balance that previously seemed distant. When we constantly try to please everyone, we end up compromising our own well-being, emotionally exhausting ourselves by trying to give more than we have to offer. However, by letting go of this need, you reserve your energy for what truly feeds your soul, without draining yourself trying to meet everyone's expectations around you. When you decide to stop focusing on what others think and start prioritizing your own desires, a true transformation occurs. At that moment, you stop being controlled by external judgments and other people's expectations. What emerges is a deep inner power that redirects your actions from a sense of obligation to a place of genuine desire. This doesn't mean you become indifferent to others. On the contrary, it means that your actions are driven by authenticity. There is a common misconception that prioritizing yourself is an act of selfishness, but this is far from the truth. Self-care and self-love not only transform your life but also elevate the lives of those around you. When you act from a place of self-respect and internal harmony, you become a more loving presence as a parent, a more dedicated friend, and a more engaged member of the community. Your positive energy radiates and impacts everyone you interact with. Now think about the emotional and mental energy that used to be consumed by trying to meet others' expectations. This constant effort is exhausting, and no matter how hard you try, it will never be possible to please everyone. By freeing yourself from this endless battle, you preserve your inner resources for activities that truly matter. The energy that was once drained in futile attempts can now be redirected toward your projects, relationships, and above all, your spiritual journey. Another great benefit of this change is the creation of healthy boundaries. By no longer being governed by others' opinions, you establish clear boundaries to protect your emotional and spiritual well-being. These boundaries act as a safe barrier, outlining what is or isn't acceptable in your personal space. This is an act of profound self-respect, an affirmation that your balance and inner peace deserve to be protected. If this content has already brought you any clarity or inspiration so far, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. And if you haven't done so yet, take this moment to subscribe to the channel. It makes all the difference and motivates me to keep bringing reflections and insights that can transform your life. Thank you for supporting this journey. You stop constantly shaping yourself to meet others' expectations. This quest to fit into the idea of how we should be is a battle many face from a young age, but as you claim your own value, this struggle begins to fade. Now you live according to who you truly are, not who the world expects you to be. From childhood, we are bombarded by countless expectations of how we should be, act, and even think. These pressures come from all sides: family, friends, media, and society, creating a sense that we must constantly adjust. Over time, these influences can distance us from our true essence, obscuring who we really are and making it harder to honor ourselves as unique individuals. Now imagine the impact of breaking free from this cycle. When we conform to what others expect of us or shape ourselves to fit social norms, the personal cost is very high. Although it's not always immediately evident, it's exhausting. The mental, emotional, and even physical strain of maintaining a facade or constantly adjusting our actions to please others can be devastating. Moreover, every time you change yourself to meet others' expectations, it's as if you're telling yourself that who you really are is not enough. This behavior gradually undermines your self-esteem and diminishes your perception of your own worth. Over time, the layers of personas you adopt to be accepted can cause you to lose sight of your true identity. Now think about what happens when you abandon this need to conform and embrace your authentic self. It's like coming home after a long and tiring journey. There's a deep sense of relief, as if a weight has been lifted from your shoulders. The joy of fully accepting yourself with all your imperfections brings a sense of peace and comfort that is priceless. When you free yourself from external expectations, you release an incredible amount of mental and emotional energy. This energy, previously used to please others, can now be directed towards activities that truly nourish your soul and bring genuine happiness. The more you love and accept yourself, the less you feel the need for external validation, and something amazing happens when you stop seeking that validation. You realize that by being authentic, the world around you begins to accept you exactly as you are. Authenticity attracts authenticity. When you show yourself genuinely, you create space for true interactions and relationships, enriching your life in ways that were previously impossible. And along with this authenticity comes an unparalleled freedom to be yourself without excuses or regrets. This freedom to be who you truly are propels your creativity and courage. Without the constant worry about what others think, you open yourself to new possibilities and challenges. You allow yourself to explore outside your comfort zone, take risks, and experience life in a more authentic way. Each experience gains deeper meaning because it comes from your own choices and genuine actions. Additionally, you learn to rely on yourself to find happiness. The search for happiness is one of humanity's most universal quests, but often we look for it in the wrong places, seeking from external sources what can only be found internally. When we let our happiness depend on others or circumstances, we are at the mercy of factors beyond our control. It's like handing over the keys to your inner garden to someone who may or may not tend to it with the same care as you. Imagine that your happiness is like a garden, a precious space that only you can truly cultivate. If you depend on others to maintain this garden, it may flourish or wither depending on the care it receives. But by taking full responsibility, you ensure that your flowers receive the water and care they need. You tend to nurture and remove the weeds with love and attention, ensuring your garden blooms continuously. This practice of caring for your own happiness brings an immediate benefit: emotional resilience. Life inevitably presents highs and lows, but when your happiness is self-sustained, you face these challenges with much greater strength. Why? Because your well-being is not tied to external circumstances. Even when the world around you is in chaos, you find peace and contentment in the sanctuary of joy you've created within yourself. This resilience allows you to become less reactive to life's ups and downs. When your joy doesn't depend on external sources, you don't find yourself swinging between euphoria and disappointment based on events or other people's behavior. Your emotional state stabilizes, becoming more balanced and centered. This doesn't mean you won't feel human emotions after all. We all experience joy, sadness, and anger, and that's part of being human. However, your fundamental well-being remains firm, like a deeply rooted tree that sways gently but doesn't break in the face of storms. And with this emotional independence, something surprising happens. Your relationships also improve. When you don't expect others to fill your emotional void, you interact with people more lightly, without demands, which naturally elevates the quality of your connections. When you take full responsibility for your own happiness, you free those you love from the pressure of being the guardians of your emotional well-being. This allows the people around you to feel free to be themselves, and as a result, it creates a much more authentic and deep connection. Both parties enter the relationship as complete individuals, willing to share and enrich each other's lives, but without the expectation of filling an internal void. But how do you build this sanctuary of inner happiness? It all starts with self-knowledge. Take time to truly get to know yourself, discover your passions, your fears, your deepest desires, and accept everything that is part of who you are. The more you understand yourself, the better equipped you are to create an environment conducive to your own happiness. Another essential step is practicing gratitude. Appreciating what you already have is a powerful way to focus on the good things in your life instead of fixating on what seems to be missing. By cultivating this feeling of gratitude, you'll find that your satisfaction with life increases. So moreover, never underestimate the power of small pleasures like the soft light of a sunset, a comforting conversation, or a good book. When you learn to find joy in simple things, you realize that happiness is always within reach. It's also important to engage in activities that align with your values and passions. When you do what you love, happiness naturally manifests itself. At this point, you take the bold step of letting go of concerns about what others think and embrace a life full of authenticity, joy, and spiritual fulfillment. This journey may not be the easiest, but it is certainly one of the most rewarding. Let today be the beginning of a new phase in your life, a phase where you recognize that you are already enough, exactly as you are. Celebrate your authenticity and embrace every part of yourself with pride. You are complete, and your true self is worthy of being celebrated. Thank you so much for staying with me this far. I hope this video has brought value and new perspectives to your journey. If you haven't subscribed yet, take the opportunity now and be part of this community that seeks self-knowledge and spiritual growth. Leave your like and share it with those who need this message. And to continue your evolution, don't stop here. Click on the next video that's full of powerful insights waiting for you. See you there. If you're looking to deepen your journey of self-awareness and spirituality, don't forget to check out my ebook Divine Essence, Rediscovering the Inner Self and Spiritual Peace. The link is here in the description. Enjoy.